It is Wednesday, July 23rd, 2025. This is another edition of Baseball Today presented to you by Mountain Dew. Looking for a refreshing citrusy kick this summer? Go grab yourselves a Mountain Dew. That is my man, Trevor Plouffe. I am Chris Rose. Producer Dan, intern Sawyer along for the ride as well. We'll get to our tip of the cap in just a moment, but a true tip of the cap to the Minnesota Twins and to my buddy, Trevor Plouffe, who helped us get a ton of content yesterday with the Minnesota Twins. We got an interview with Byron Buxton coming out. We got really fun baby ball players. Your PR dude, Mitch, crushed it, and you saved the day because we were having a technical glitch and we needed a computer to restart our microphone problem. You came in and saved the day, dude.
I mean, I didn't do anything. All credit goes to Mitch and the players, man. They gave you their time and their
yes.
They were great. They were great. A lot of good personalities on the Twins.
Very good, and some controversy in baby ball players in terms of maybe somebody getting tipped off by people. I want to tune in for that on Dugout Discussions next week.
We're getting drama and Pictureville.
It gets they're very competitive when guys realize. They always ask, well, who did the best on it? And so there's a lot of controversy. That's all I can tell is that maybe somebody's playing the game under protest.
Okay.
Maybe. Let's get to it. Tip of the cap to the old dudes in baseball. First of all, Rich Hill tying a major league record by throwing a ball for his 14th different major league team. He made the start last night for Kansas City in Chicago. Of course, he started out with the Cubs. And then 40-year-old Justin Turner swiping third against 45-year-old Rich Hill. That hasn't happened, 40 on 40-year-old crime, since Craig Biggio swiped a base in 2007 against David Wells.
Oh, wow. I was wondering what the names were going to be there. That's pretty good. Biggio and Wells, Turner and Rich Hill. It doesn't get better than that. And yeah, chalk one up for the old guys still doing it. I'm not 40 yet. I'm not in the club. But
no.
I'm dang close, Chris.
I think the comeback starts right now for you.
No, I'm tired calling baseball games, let alone playing in a baseball game.
If you played a game today, how sore would you be tomorrow?
Oh, I don't think I'd be sore. I don't really get sore. I'm fine with that. My body's good. My body's good. My reaction time, I think, would be bad.
Would you be afraid to play third base?
No. I think my eyes are going for me a little bit. And I've had great eyes my entire life. I still can see everything, but I just think like when I got in and did the traject thing, like the tracking wasn't there. And I guess I'm just out of practice, but I can play third base.
I'm over here. If you're having trouble seeing me, I'm right here. All right, here we go. Jacob Misiorowski, his first post All-Star game start was very impressive, if not real long. Another 7 strikeouts and 3 2/3 of fiery baseball. Brewers' win streak came to an end after Misiorowski's night ended, thanks to the guy that has been quite the catch in Seattle.
Out to right field. Driven back. Flying out of here. Cal Raleigh. Home run number 39.
And that was the only run in a 1-0 Mariners win to erase the Brewers' 11-game winning streak. I ask you this question. Whose second half will be more interesting to follow? Cal Raleigh, Jacob Misiorowski?
It's really a good question. I hate when you give good questions like this because you make me think. I'm going with Cal Raleigh. I like when guys he's going to get to 50 homers. And then from there, that's when I get super, super interested. It's like I want to see every single at bat. I want to see this guy get to 60. It just, it's amazing. It doesn't happen in our sport, and we're seeing that. Misiorowski, on the other hand, is fascinating because this was a planned short start, but what does that mean? I don't. All they ever talk about is we don't really have a number of innings that we track stressful pitches, and it's like, okay, what does that mean for the postseason stretch? What does that mean for the postseason? Like, are you going to limit his starts for the next month so you have him for the end of the season, and then you just let him go at all of a sudden instead of pitching 3 innings, you want him to go 8? Like, I just don't know the reasoning here. And look, Milwaukee Brewers, they're a smart team. A lot of people studying this, but I just don't think there's any definitive answer. I'm more inclined to watch Cal, but I am intrigued with Misiorowski.
Yeah, the Cal stuff is awesome. There's no question about it. We've never had a catcher that can get to the 50 home run plateau who predominantly played the position. I do think he's going to get there. Switch hitter, plays every day, feels like he's never out of the lineup, whether that's as a catcher or a DH. But this Misiorowski thing, I think, took a real interesting turn last night. Pat Murphy was asked about it afterward, and he said it wouldn't have been fair when he had this extra time off during the All-Star break to just throw him out there and let him eat. He said this was, his velocity started to dip. He came out on fire, and then it started around the 50 pitch mark, started to dip a little bit. I don't know. Where are we going with this? You have put him in the same breath of Paul Skeens, right? You think he's that talented?
I do.
Well, if the Brewers are going to outlast the Cubs in the Central and give other high, thought of teams, whether that's the Dodgers, the Mets, the Phillies, or anybody else out there, a run for their money en route to the World Series, this guy's got to pitch at a high level every 5 days, and it can't be for 3 2/3. The kid was asked about being pulled after 64 pitches last night.
I mean, Hook gets to be the bad guy and deliver the news to me, but, it is what it is. So there's no real conversation. They're like, this is what's going to happen, and, you live with it.
Do you think they have to have a conversation with him moving forward? Like, this is our plan?
You have to. He needs to know what to get ready for. And I don't know what the plan is. They said this was a planned short start. They want to be careful. This is a guy who hasn't thrown this many innings. And I believe he peaked around 80-something last year. And so he's going to surpass that. And look, there's a whole extra month at the big league level in September. Plus they have playoff aspirations. So you're talking about 2 extra months that this guy's never done before, which is a thing. We constantly hear we don't know what the inning threshold is. We don't know what the pitch count threshold is. We want to be careful. I'm down with that. I'm not saying let's just run this guy into the ground. I want to know where we really stand. It feels like we're just blindly throwing darts and seeing if it works. I go back and forth. You want to protect the guy, but how do we know what really works?
We don't. And just to clarify the numbers, he's at 92 and change right now between his minor and major league innings. Last year was his career high between double and triple A. It was 97 and something, maybe a third and 2/3, whatever it is. So he's within 5 innings of that. So he could blow past that in his next start if they allow him to. But first of all, I wonder how it's going to sit in the clubhouse. Because do you remember a bunch of years ago in Washington when Steven Strasburg was I don't remember if it was an innings limit, but there was a strategy that he and Boris had presented to the Nationals, and he was sat down, and I don't think he pitched in the playoffs, if I remember correctly. Washington fans, you can fill us in on the comments, but it was a big, big deal. And I don't believe it. He wasn't a rookie, I don't think. He was still young in his career, but Scott Boras was protecting the investment, if you will.
What year?
I don't know, man.
What year are you looking for?
I don't remember what year it was. And I apologize for not looking this up ahead of time, but it just popped in my head right now. But there was a year where Strasburg sat out the playoffs, I believe.
He pitched in 2014, 2017, and 2019.
I'm pretty sure that there was a year that he sat out. I don't know if one of our guys can grab it and might have been 2012. Is that the year? Did they end up making the playoffs or not? They did. Okay, so they made the playoffs, and that was the year that he ended up sitting out. And this is the opposite. This is the organization taking a stance. Back then, it was Scott Boras who was really orchestrating that move for Steven Strasburg. But the end result could be the same. Like, if you're a Brewers fan and you are emotionally invested in this awesome team that just ripped off 11 in a row, he is far and away your most exciting player you've got right now. He was in the All-Star game, whether you liked it or didn't like it. He is must-see baseball. I can't handle 3 2/3 every 5 days, and I don't want to overstate it because it was just one start, but it's something to watch moving forward.
Agreed. No, both those topics are fascinating. You did a good job with that question.
Yeah.
Chris.
Thanks. Let us know where you sit on the whole Misiorowski thing. How do you think it's going to play out? How do you think the Brewers should play it out? Fascinating. Let's move on to the game that you saw last night. The Twins take the second of a 3-game set against the LA Dodgers. The Dodgers last year, of course, in the World Series made a lot of news talking about the Yankees. If you just put the ball in play, then bad things are going to happen to them. Well, last night the Dodgers were all over the place, and in part because of their bullpen. This guy, Edgardo Henriquez, who just came up, was in a tough situation. I think the bases were loaded. There's a little tapper. He has to try and make a play at first. He mishandled the baseball, and then he fired it about 8 feet wide of Freddie Freeman. It goes all the way to the wall. It clears the bases. Twins end up going on and winning from here. First of all, dude, why can't pitchers throw a baseball?
The whole night was like this for the Dodgers. Every single reliever they brought in could not throw strikes. Kasparius ended up having to leave with an injury, but Will Klein, who was in here before Rodriguez, is that his name? Sorry.
Yeah,
Enriquez.
Yeah, Enriquez.
He couldn't throw strikes. I called it on the broadcast. I said, this is the worst inning of baseball in Major League Baseball this season.
Wow.
3 walks in a row, not even close. He comes in, chucks that thing. Chris, it hit the right field wall. I've never seen that in my life, dude. It was crazy. He took this thing and threw it all the way to the wall. I mean, Freddie Freeman's like, what just happened, dude? So yeah, it was a wild night, dude. It was game seemed like it took forever. A lot of stuff happening. I got to see Shohei homer again. That was cool.
Yeah, off of Duran, ball was sinking away from him. Pretty impressive.
100 miles an hour splitter sinking away from him, and he went and torched it opposite field. It was, I don't know, man. I don't know what there is to say about that guy.
That's a homer in 4 straight games for him. The bigger news for the Dodgers is that Tanner Scott, they did some imaging. I think they were still waiting for it, but right now they're calling it forearm inflammation. So yet another reliever for the Dodger ends up on the injured list. They asked Tanner Scott, do you think you'll return this season? He's like, absolutely, I'm coming back. Blake Treinen's already appearing in rehab games. His return, it sounds like it's imminent. But if Andrew Friedman does not pull the trigger on a major bullpen trade, is that a failure?
I think they really, really need that. So, yeah, I would consider it a failure for a team that you've constructed this team to go and win the World Series. And right now, the bullpen that they're kind of running out there, there's still some guys that are having good years. Vesia's having a good year. Jack Dreyer. I mean, both lefties right there. I mean, you need a power righty in that bullpen that can throw strikes. They got power and they got righties, but they couldn't throw strikes. I told you before the show, I just watched the Rockies series as well against the Twins, and they kind of look similar. The Rockies have some relievers with stuff, but they're erratic. Right now, that's what's getting thrown out there with the Dodgers. I know that wasn't their best bullpen, but it's kind of like what they got back there right now. Mm-hmm. You could rely on some of the guys coming back from injury, but I think it would be a huge mistake if they didn't go out and look at a Clase or try to get Duran back from the Twins. They need somebody like that in the back end of their bullpen.
Yeah.
Because Tanner Scott is he's had some ups and downs this year as well, and that's supposed to be the guy that's shutting down games for you.
Yeah, you paid him $72 million in the offseason to be the guy, and he's just been a guy and not a very good one at that. So now you're dealing with an injury along with being inconsistent.
And I guess you can talk also about they got to kick some guys to the bullpen at some point.
Mm-hmm.
You can't have 8 starters, so that's an option for them. So maybe they go that route, but I still think it'd be a mistake not to add.
Yeah, and Blake Snell, I saw him at the yard. He was in between rehab starts, so he's presumably getting closer. I think he threw 4 innings in his last rehab start. Yes, that is definitely a way to go. But they know better than anybody that you better have more than less when you get to October. With the way that those games are grinded out and you don't see starters throwing 6 innings even, you're going to need guys to get critical outs and throw strikes because, man, there's nothing worse than seeing walks out of your bullpen come October. They have to make a trade. I think you mentioned the 2 big guys, Duran and Clase from the American League Central. There are obviously other arms to be had, whether that's a Sir Anthony Dominguez, who seems to have rediscovered his form with the Orioles. There's other right-handers available. They've got to get their hands on at least 2, in my opinion. That's the way I think they've got to get multiple guys. I really do. Could be the same trade, but probably separate deals I would look at if I were them. And they're never afraid to unload guys that are top 9 prospects. So we'll see. All right. Today's episode of Baseball Today, it is sponsored by Best Western Hotels and Resorts. Life's a trip, So why not make the most of it? With over 4,000 hotels worldwide, Best Western there for every detour, destination, unexpected twist and turn along the way. So whether you're hitting the road, traveling for work, or chasing the next big game, there's a room waiting for you. But a great stay isn't just about rest. It's about what comes next. Great stay doesn't just help you recharge, kind of sets the tone for the early wake up, the late night arrival, the last minute change of plans. Best Western, they get it. Traveling isn't one size fits all. It's for the planners and the procrastinators, the loyalty point collectors, and the I just booked it crowd. So whether you're flying solo with your friends or the entire roster, Best Western has got you covered. Pack your bag, cue up the playlist, hit the road. Life's a trip. Make the most of it at bestwestern.com. I know that the We Got Ice guys have used Best Western on their travels throughout the year. Had a great time doing their thing. It's perfect for dudes in their mid-20s. It's perfect for family guys like us. So whatever fits your resume, just go click it. bestwestern.com. That's simple. Got it? We continue on. The Giants, hey, they finally got to win the second half of the year. Rafael Devers gets it done at the dish, and for the first time ever, logged an inning, and in fact, an entire game at first base.
Another base hit for Devers. Ramos to third, and he'll run right through a stop sign and score anyway.
Are you the type that thinks your offense is better when you are playing in the field, that you feel more engaged in the game?
Definitely. It keeps me active. It keeps my head out of just thinking about the next at bat. I'm the kind of player that likes to be active, likes to be on the field. I'd rather be on the field than be in the cage hitting all the time and just thinking about the next at bat.
What are you smiling at?
I just love him just putting on hundreds of thousands of dollars of jewelry on during that interview.
I know. I was interviewing Royce Lewis yesterday, and he had some great ice.
Yeah,
that was
had some blame.
number one overall.
You think
pick.
that was real? I'm gonna ask Royce today.
Ooh, I think so.
I wouldn't wear was it Ocho Cinco that was I don't wear real jewelry? That's silly.
You're right.
That's what I would do. I'm not a big jewelry guy, but I'd just get the fake stuff. Who cares?
All right, so let's get to the question at hand, which is, should the Giants just say F it and just make him the first baseman and live with it the rest of the year, if that's the way that Rafael Devers feels about it?
What he just said right there, that he wants to play the field, he ain't playing third base. Put him at first base. Yeah, that opens up the DH. You go get somebody. I mean, DHs are a lot less expensive on the market than a position player. So yes, 100%. And he doesn't have to play there every single day, but if you log the majority of games at first base, I think it's exactly what this team needs, is some freaking offense. So he feels like he hits better there. Awesome. And you can bring in a bat for cheaper. It's a no-brainer to me. He should be playing first base a majority of the days. If it gets bad defensively, which I don't know if it will, I don't think so. It might. Then maybe you think about it. But I think that's your guy.
He laid out the blueprint. Yes, I feel better. I'm more engaged in the game. This is a dude. Not only did you give up prospects, you're going to be paying him a $300 million contract. So listen, dude. Do you need a manicure, pedicure once a week? Will that make you feel better in the batter's box? Because if so, we'll sign one to our staff. We're good. Whatever you need to feel better. And I know some people are going to say here, well, now you're catering to. Yes, exactly. You are catering to the guy you're paying $300 million to. That's exactly what I'm doing. And I don't think your team is going to be significantly worse defensively. So get his ass out there. Get him out of the DH. If you look at the stats, I think his OPS plus is right around 20 points better when he plays the field as opposed to when he DHs throughout his career. So it's not a huge number, but it's an improvement. And once again, it's all about here. Let's make him comfortable. I'm not here to make excuses for Rafael Devers, but Logan Webb told us at the All-Star break on Dugout Discussions, people forget it's not easy to move your entire family from one organization you've known to the other and not have it affect your mentals. So I'm going to give him a little bit of a pass for his performance so far as a San Francisco Giant, that he hasn't maybe settled in, because he's a damn good hitter. I mean, You can say whatever you want about who he is and his decision to not move across the diamond or how he handled things in Boston, and I'll listen to all that. But don't tell me that he's not a good hitter, because he is.
Am I blanking on the fact that he had a no-trade clause, or did he not have a no-trade clause?
That's a good question. Sawyer, maybe you can look that one up and see if Rafael Devers had a...
It's a huge deal to not have a no-trade clause.
No, he did not.
Sheesh. Okay.
All right. So is this story once and for all done?
He should play first base for the San Francisco Giants, yes.
But I'm just saying, like, we're not going to bring it up anymore unless he makes like 6 errors in a game. Then we'll revisit it. But
I think we'll talk about it, especially if he starts like going off as a hitter. We'll be like, oh my gosh, like, see, they should have just done this from the get-go.
Okay.
Devers, you should have said, yeah, I'll play first base for the Red Sox.
It also will allow Wilmer Flores.
Can you imagine how different the world will be if he just said, yeah, I'll play first base?
How do you think that would have played out?
I think he would have played first base for the Red Sox.
So he'd still be there.
Yeah.
Then they'd even have more of a log jam with all their young players.
I think he'd still be there.
God,
Butterfly effect, Chris. You ever heard of it?
Yeah, I have. Fascinating. Let us know, Giants fans, how you want to see this thing play out. Red Sox fans, when you hear the name Rafael Devers, what is the first thing that comes to mind right now? What is it for you with Rafael Devers with the Red Sox? I know what it is for me.
If I hear the name Rafael Devers and associate it with the Red Sox?
Yes.
Like a banger. He's a banger.
Don't worry, that won't be clipped off. For me, it was the opposite field. I think it was an extra inning home run he hit against Aroldis Chapman on ESPN.
Okay.
I always thought that was impressive for a young guy, lefty on lefty against one of the premier relievers that we've had over the last 10, 12 years. I don't know. There we go. All right, let's move on to some impressive performances from Tuesday, if you don't mind. We had the rookie second baseman, Bryce Matthews, hitting his third homer in 2 games as the Astros took one from the Arizona Diamondbacks. Then a pair of great pitching performances. Christopher Sanchez, 12 Ks, complete game for the Phillies. Jacob deGrom, 9 strikeouts. He now has double-digit wins in a season for the first time since 2019. Which of those 3 caught your eye the most?
I'm going to go with Bryce Matthews and what's going on there in Houston. He's just kind of like a part of what's going on. A bunch of guys, playing, at the big league level, maybe before they're ready, due to injuries. I mean, this Houston Astros team has been decimated by injuries, but they continue to win. This guy's 6 games into his career, big homer. The double play to end the game is super impressive, like ranging to his left, little slide, little spin throw. Those are like in pressure situations. Like, it was a great play in the 4th inning, but to end the game, it's even more. The guys they have on their IL right now, it's insane. I mean, Arrighetti, Blanco, France, Luis Garcia, Christian Javier, McCullers just went on the IL with a blister. Wesneski, who they traded for, on the IL. That's just the pitchers. I mean, we're talking Paredes, Pena, Yordan Alvarez, and they're still in first place. It's because guys like Matthews have come up and done an exceptional job. And Altuve had a ton of glowing praise for him. Talking about as he gets older, he sees these young guys come up and they're ready to play baseball, like fundamentally sound, good baseball, ready for the big leagues. And I too sometimes, take stock of the league and say, man, some of these guys coming up, like I wasn't like that as a rookie, like I wasn't ready. Like, it was scary, but these guys come up and they're ready to go. And especially for a guy like Matthews over these 6 games, been very impressive.
I also wonder if the temperament of a clubhouse has changed significantly in the time. When did you make it? 2010? Was that your rookie year?
Yes. It was like, basically shut up, Rook. Just don't fuck it up.
Yeah. Well, I think today's game, they know that they're going to need these guys.
Yeah.
So let's make them as comfortable as possible. Look at the year Cam Smith has had. The guy was just drafted and traded already by the Chicago Cubs, and he has been a savior for them, playing a position that he really didn't play before. And now Matthews has come in, and he's got a lot of swing and miss in his game. But people talk about his makeup, that it is A++. And he said, I mean, some of the guys that he faced right out of the gate were real challenging. He was like, I love it. I wanted that because I needed to see what I'm in for every night so that I can stick with my process and understand how I can be the best player. Like that's some mature shit right there.
I'm like looking at this roster. I think there's like 4 guys on it right now, like position players that Houston Astros fans be like, yeah, that guy's going to be on the roster.
Right.
The rest of them are just guys they've either brought in or called up, and they continue to get the job done. This, like, honestly, if you haven't watched the Houston Astros, go to Fangraphs, go look at the roster resource. You'd be like, whoa.
Yeah, it's amazing what they've done. They are they're a premier organization for a reason. I'm going to go with Christopher Sanchez. I know we talked a lot about not getting invited to the All-Star game. He wasn't going to pitch anyway because I think he pitched on that Sunday, but he should have been recognized. I know eventually they asked him to go and the Phillies gave him the $50,000 bonus. I want to put all that stuff aside and just talk about what a dude he's developed into. I think it was just within the last couple of years we were like, well, he's got to start a playoff game at home. He could go pitch on the moon this October, and he's going to be great behind Zach Wheeler, wherever you put him. A 7-start span. This is according to Opta Stats. He is one of 3 pitchers in the history of the sport to record these numbers in a 7-start span. An undefeated record, a sub-1.5 ERA, throw at least 50 innings with at least 50 strikeouts, fewer than 5 walks, and no more than 1 homer allowed. The other 2 guys to do that in the history of the sport, Greg Maddux and Clayton Kershaw. Christopher Sanchez, welcome to rarefied air. You are a dude. I'm happy for you. And he's not just the guy that has to pitch at home anymore.
No, his savant page is absolutely filthy. 3-pitch guy. He's a little different. Like, you don't see guys of his stature from the left side too often. And I don't know if that makes a ton of sense, but when you face guys that kind of look the same and the pitch shapes are the same, like, okay, you can get used to them. But a guy like Chris Sanchez at 6'6" from the left side, like, they're just kind of anomalies. So, like, you don't see the ball coming out of that slot all the time. And his changeup, man. His changeup is filthy. Guys are hitting 136 against it. He throws it 37% of the time. And it's something different.
All right, big shout out to Mountain Dew for sponsoring today's episode of Baseball Today. With bold flavors and a refreshing citrus kick, Mountain Dew, perfect for any occasion, whether it's those beach days, a boat day, out on the golf course, going to the ballpark, or just about anything in between. In fact, we love it, particularly where we're going in a couple of weeks, the Warehouse. That place is locked and loaded. Our buddy Dalton Feely, he loves the Warehouse, not only for the competition and also that big shit-eating grin he's got on his face, but because he gets unlimited amounts of Mountain Dew. So make the Dalton Feely in your life super, super happy, whether you're chilling at the beach or out on the water or golf course or whatever you're doing, hanging with friends. The refreshing citrus kick of Mountain Dew, it's a perfect pairing. So if that's what you're looking for, go grab yourself a Mountain Dew. All right. Great little story out of the north side of Chicago. They told last night on Marquee Sports. PCA going to visit some kids. They were started a lemonade stand because one of the kids wanted to get his haircut like PCA, where he had like the stars in his hat, in his head, the whole bit. Well, PCA got word about that. He dropped by, he signed some autographs, and he gave him the rest of the money so the kid could afford to go get his haircut. And I think we got a picture of the kid getting that look. Can we have that, Dan? All right. Well, that's all right. We'll Dan will get that for us in a second. But good for PCA to go out and do this, man.
No, I mean, look, you're a young guy in the midst of a MVP-ish type season. 5.8 WAR, 26 homers, 73 ribs, 28 stolen bases. You could easily just say, man, I just need to keep it locked in here. There's the guy with the hair.
Yeah.
You could say, I'm going to keep it locked in. I can't do this extra stuff. I just went to the All-Star game. Like, it's been a long month for me, long week, whatever it is. But PCA, I think, understands what that means to those kids and what it means to the brand and Major League Baseball to go out and still be part of the community and service the fans. If you can play like that and you understand what that means, that's a superstar.
Yep, he is a superstar. He is getting there, no question. So it got me thinking about like three haircuts throughout the last 50 years that if you could go get, if you were going to go raise some money at a lemonade stand, which one would you most want to get? So let's start where I grew up in the 70s. Oscar Gamble had one of the, now I couldn't grow my hair like that. I could not get the major afro going. I have a brother, Bob, who did have the ability to grow out. I mean, how did Oscar get that hair under a helmet?
I think he just smushed it on.
It's incredible. That is an incredible 70s look. God, I love every second of that. If you're going to go to today, Lourdes Gurriel, would you raise money at a lemonade stand to try and get your hair done like that?
No.
Why not?
Out on that one.
Not
It
even
looks like it looks like he's doing like a roller derby. That's a roller derby haircut right there.
He looks like one of the guys that you used to put at the end of a pencil and you'd spin the pencil and the hair would go all over the place. You ever see those?
That's an old person thing, I think.
God.
What about a Furby? He looks like a Furby.
Oh, he does look a little like a Furby.
That's also an old person.
Yes, it is. Last one, Josh Donaldson always had interesting hairstyles.
Oh, he's the Viking. That's the Vikings thing. He was like into that show and wanted to be like a Celtic warrior.
Yeah. He acted in it, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, he did.
Would you ever do a man bun?
No.
Zero interest.
No, I'm not into the man bun thing.
You know, I asked Michelle about that last night, and she goes...
You asked her, does she like a man bun?
I said, what if I grew out a man bun? She goes, with certain people, I think it would work. And I said, so what about? I mean, you've already had me have this beard for 5 years. What do we think man bun? She's like, I'm not so sure you could pull that off. I think it's a challenge.
I don't think you got it, Chris. I don't think either of us got a man bun right now. No, I'm gonna I keep my hair high and tight because I'm getting all these grays here, and if I shave it, no one can tell.
Welcome to Grayville,
oh, dude. I'm like, it's there. I don't know.
I think ladies think it's sexy when guys get speckled gray in there.
Sound off in the comments, ladies. Do you?
I've definitely got some on the side, and you know,
some
in the side, yeah, in the side, but not on the top. Not on the top. Hanging. All right. I'll go backward with you. Here we go.
Yeah.
All right. Enjoy your day game at Dodger Stadium. We are back at it again on Thursday when we will be 1 week from the Major League Baseball trade deadline. GMs, feel free to start trading players at will so we can have more content to put out, please. We appreciate it. For our one-of-a-kind producer, Dan Rourke, our awesome intern, Sawyer, that is the uber-talented Trevor Plouffe. I am Chris Rose. We will see you Thursday here on Baseball Today, presented to you by Mountain Dew.